Hello, everybody. This week we are jumping right into a very popular subject. This is called the Lean Startup. So, jumping right in, what is the Lean Startup? So, the Lean Startup is basically um, the main idea is about experimenting and learning from those experiments and pivoting and moving on. It's very methodical. It's tailoring experiments around customers, kind of follows the scientific method as far as testing, trying, changing. And then again, like I said, making changes and pivoting is a key factor, a real big element here in the lean startup process. Going forward, this is the build, measure, learn loop. This is essentially how the lean startup is devised. You start with an idea, you build off that idea, you gather ideas and things like that, you form a product, you put it out, you measure kind of the response it gets from the customers, you take that data you gathered, you learned, and then you go back to the start. You maybe pivot or alter that idea until you find something that really solidifies with your customers or your audience that you're directing your idea towards, and you just keep going through until you find perfection, or even keep going through just to keep your product fresh and innovative. So kind of the idea behind the build, measure, learn loop is the core. It's the core of the lean startup process. It's a roadmap for how to develop ideas with real world feedback, and it allows companies to make better decisions. Now, the difference between the lean startup process and kind of the traditional business, plan method that everyone has followed for years and years and years, is the original kind of set your business plan, get a loan kind of idea is a lot less efficient. It's assumptions versus kind of real time data. A lot of times when people are building business plans, they go off what they think they could do or what they think they might do, as opposed to where you put a product out there with a lean startup process, put something very minimal out there, and then you get real data back in real time. It's also kind of the thought process is more dynamic as opposed to the traditional business plan where you kind of have a static thought process. In the lean startup process, you're always changing, you're always pivoting, you're always doing something different. Got a fun little meme here just to kind of show you guys what it is. It's like a different alien world where everyone is working hard and time flies by. It's called a startup. It's called the lean startup. Now, going back to that a little bit, I did mention putting a minimal viable product out there. That is your MVP. It's a stripped down and basic version of your idea. It's meant to test the waters of your market at a minimum cost. And I don't just mean this financially, but also, as an opportunity cost and a time cost as well. It gives you early feedback of your product and allows for quick adjustments to your overall vision. Like we said, we want to make quick pivots. We want to learn the market. It's all about adapting, learning, experimenting. Going through a couple of examples of a minimal valuable product. One that I put up here that's kind of fun is this is Tony Stark's Mark One Iron Man suit. I know this is a little far fetched and a little sci fi, but if you think about it, Tony Stark built this very minimal suit, and this is kind of he learned what he could do with it, and from that he continued to build these Iron Man suits until the whole Avengers thing took off and all that. In a more real world application, I have two examples here to the right. Airbnb, the guys who started Airbnb, they didn't have enough money for rent, and or they didn't have enough money for rent, and all the hotels were booked. So what they did is they put their little loft up for rent, made a very basic website, and just see if anyone wanted to rent it. And sure enough, it turned into the multi-billion-dollar company we know today. Another product here is Pebble. Now, Pebble did kind of the same thing. They basically put a very minimal watch out there, got the response, and then just kind of pivoted and kept working it. Now, the MVP for me, so if I've been kind of thinking about and contemplating starting my own consulting business, and kind of some things I was thinking that I would do would be posting some videos, build a basic website, and just asking questions, getting feedback from people, and that's kind of falls along with the posting videos. You know, I might post a video just like this one and just see the response it gets. And from there, I could pivot and adjust and kind of see what I need to do to actually build that consulting firm. And then building a basic website, you know, like just like the guys at Airbnb did, I could put that basic website out there, see what kind of response it gets, see if I get anyone wanting consulting in that kind of field. I'm just going to put forth a very, you know, not all my effort because I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm just going to test the waters. Like we said, back down to the basics of this whole circle. It's just putting things out there, experimenting, and, you know, kind of going for it, but still using that very scientific method approach. You know, you can't just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. You still have to do your research, and you still have to respond to that feedback and things like that. So that pretty much wraps it up for the video this week. Here's a little list of my references. I definitely encourage you guys all to check out the Kauffman Founders School if you're interested in this kind of thing. They have lots of great videos, not just about the Lean Startup, but also business videos. And then, of course, I also have been reading The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Awesome book. Definitely check it out. All right, well, thanks, guys. See you guys all next week.